Marketing. Marketing planning is the chapter. It's a very important chapter. We tend to get a question from it almost 80% of the times. So we need to know this really well. Marketing planning is sometimes also called as marketing strategy. Marketing strategy, when we talk about it, it is a long-term marketing plan which revolves around six different factors. Long-term marketing plan, uh, which helps in setting objectives and talks about market research and then marketing budget and marketing mix and market conditions and competitors' actions is basically what you call a marketing strategy. Marketing strategy is a long-term marketing plan which deals with marketing objectives, marketing research, marketing budget, market conditions, competitors' actions, and above all, marketing mix. Don't write it like that in the thing, above all and stuff like that. I'm just trying to explain it. The copybook definition is basically it is marketing strategy is a long-term marketing plan which deals with marketing objectives, marketing research, marketing budget, market conditions, and competitors' actions. Okay, we are going to talk about all of them separately. Every marketing plan has to be started with the marketing objectives. You have to set your marketing objectives. What are the marketing objectives? Whether it's increasing the market share or to maximize the profit or to grow or to satisfy the customers or to improve the customer loyalty or get inelastic demand or decrease the price elasticity of demand from 1 to point 0.7. All these are different marketing objectives which are supposed to be set while devising the marketing plan. The first and foremost step of devising the marketing plan is to set the objectives, not only short term but also medium term and long term objectives of the organization are supposed to be set in the marketing strategy or marketing plan. Okay, once you have to discuss everything with reference to in paper 3. It's all about the case study. Nothing is going to be discussed in isolation of case study. Everything has to be related to the case study. You have to start the answer with the case study. You have to end it with the case study. No general answers are going to be acceptable in paper 3. So please, when we are talking about marketing objectives, they have to be in line with the current organization, which is there in the case study. It is not going to be a general answer. It is always going to be, whether we are talking about a marketing plan or any other question, apart from numerical questions, that is, where only calculations are to be made. You cannot really talk about the case study. But then again, apart from that, all the theoretical answers have to be written with reference to the context. Okay, so marketing objectives with reference to the current case study, with reference to the current business. After that, we talk about market research. Market research is only going to be talked about if we are talking about a market-oriented business. If the business is product-oriented, then we are not going to talk about market research. We are going to talk about research and development, yes, but not market research. So, with reference to the case study, you are going to decide that what are you going to write in the market research paragraph. After that, you are going to talk about marketing budget. Again, the marketing budget, if it has been discussed in detail inside the case study, then you are going to write a detailed account, a detailed paragraph on it. If nothing has been talked about it in the case study, which is normally the case, then you are just going to write 3, 4, 5 lines on the marketing budget, that it has to be optimized according to the marketing mix, and it has to be developed prudently, keeping in mind the previous patterns. That is what you are going to write in the marketing budget. After the marketing budget, we talk about marketing mix, where we are going to certainly talk about product, price, promotion, and place. Product with reference to the current case study, and product portfolio with reference to the current case study, and product portfolio analysis with reference to the current case study, and extension strategies with reference to the current case study, that is Boston matrix and Ansoff matrix respectively. All of these things have to be discussed in the products paragraph, that they have to be part of the plan. And then we are going to talk about price, different types of prices. If it's an innovative business, if it's a product oriented business, then skimming at the start. If it is a market oriented business, then we are talking about what you call as penetration pricing at the start of the product life cycle, and then you are going to talk about the other pricing strategies like dynamic or discrimination pricing, and psychological pricing is supposed to be coupled with all the pricing methodologies. And then we are talking about perceived value pricing in case of established businesses or established brands. And then we are basically talking about what you call as the pricing which is called loss leaders, which is usually employed by businesses at the decline stage. So we are going to say in that paragraph, that the pricing paragraph, that all these different pricing methodologies are to be kept in mind and are supposed to be used in accordance with the different stages of product life cycle. Again, you are going to give reference to the products which are there in the case study of the products related to the business, that is. Then we are going to jump on to what you call as promotion. It may be above the line, it may be below the line, depending upon the niche and mass marketing that is being done. And we are talking about above and below the line promotion, uh, combining it to find out the promotion mix for the current business. And we'll be talking about that. And then after that, we are also going to say that the communication process needs to take place efficiently and effectively in order to improve the promotion process. And we can also talk about persuasive and informative advertising, again with reference to the context. If it is an established product, if it is an established brand, if branding has already been done, then persuasive is better than informative. Then we talk about place. So sometimes if we are talking about smaller products, if we are talking about food items, maybe home delivery is going to take place. If we are talking about cars, obviously no home deliveries. So then, depending upon the nature of the product, we are going to decide the distribution channels, whether wholesalers are required or not, whether the retailers are required or not, whether an agent in the outside country is required or not. We are going to be, talking about all the distribution channels, or all the intermediaries which are there while distributing the products, and we need to make it convenient for the customer or customers. Again talking about the four C's with reference to four P's as well. After that, we are going to talk about market conditions. Market conditions, maybe recession is there in the economy, maybe there's tough competition, maybe the government policies are conducive, maybe the government policies are going against you, maybe the tax has been increased, maybe there's inflation in the market, maybe there's unemployment. All these factors have to be considered while devising the marketing plan. In other words, pest analysis is being talked about, in this paragraph. And then finally, we are, ending it with the reference to what? The reference to the conclusion, where we are going to summarize the answer, where we're going to say that all these factors, including the marketing mix and market conditions and competitors' actions and marketing research and budget and objectives, they need to be there in a successful marketing plan. Otherwise, it will fail or it will not work effectively. Okay, so the marketing planning thing. After that, we talk about IDA and DAGMAR, which are the two policies, which are the two advertising methodologies used by businesses. IDA is attention, interest, desire, and action. First of all, the advertisements which are being produced, they need to attract the attention. Then they have to develop the interest in the customer, and then the desire to buy the product has to be there. And then the action should be prompted through the advertisement. So attention, interest, desire, and action. The IDA model, it is the advertising model used by different businesses. Then there's another model, which is the modern form of IDA. It is called DAGMAR, developing advertising goals for managed advertising results. When IDA is implemented using management by objectives, it is called DAGMAR, that is developing advertising goals for managed advertising results. After that, we talk about sales forecasting. Sales forecasting is done through different methods. One of the methods is causal relationship. It's not casual, it's causal relationship, cause and effect model, which is there in the sales forecasting. And then we have time series analysis. Causal relationship, which is sometimes also called correlation. One, it's a graphical method where on x-axis we have a variable which is studied against sales. So for example, if promotion increases, we are going to have an increase in the demand of the product as well. So that is where the sales forecasting may be done on the basis of patterns of promotion. When higher promotion is there, higher demand is going to exist, and vice versa. And then after that, we are talking about other things. For example, time series analysis. In time series analysis, we have interpolation. Interpolation is when you are you have the previous trend, and on the basis of the previous trend you project the future sales. That is called interpolation.